Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today, we continue our discussion on the future of Nigeria, and I have a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic who will be discussing with us on the future of Nigeria and other relevant discussions. He's also the chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions. He's a senator that represents the Labour Party from Edo State. I'd like to welcome Senator Neda Imasuen.
Thank you.
You're welcome to Inside Sources.
Thank you so very much.
Excellent. Well, let's take it from how we normally start, and then we get to other issues. Now, if you look at where Nigeria is today, I mean, you are a senator, and you came out of Labour Party. You know, Labour Party had a lot of excitement, in our last general elections. Are you convinced that where the country is today, we are on course to that great Nigeria that all of us believe is the destiny of this nation?
Well, thank you for that question. To answer you directly, I don't have that conviction at all. But again, because we believe in this country, and because we don't have any other country that we call a home, and because our future and the future of our children lie in this country, and so we are trying to keep hope alive. But directly, no. I don't see how this is going to lead us to a situation that every Nigerian will be comfortable with. Because today, the basic things of life, the basic necessities, we can't afford it. Talk about food. Nigerians can afford to have 3 square meals today. As a matter of fact, they struggle to have 1 square meal. And even when they struggle to have that, it is not a quality meal. I honestly don't know how far or how quick or what led us to this spiral decline in everything that we have. Insecurity is still with us. With all the money that we have appropriated to the military, to all the security agencies, it's still with us. Unemployment. Now today they tell you that the interest rate is skyrocketing. Inflation is in double digits, and there are no signs that they are coming down. And so it's frustration all around. But in spite of that, we are trying to keep hope alive. But that's the only thing I think we have. As senators or as parliament, we do everything that we can through legislation to see how we can ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians. And we are hoping that it will work and pan out well for us. Yeah,
I mean, Senator, thank you for the opening comments. And, you are a senator, of the Federal Republic, and the Senate, alongside the Federal House of Representatives, have quite a lot of responsibilities and powers. So I'd like to know that what is the National Assembly's own responsibility in trying to address some of the issues that you have raised? Because you can take the view like somebody like us who is outside. We all know that it's bad. So we know that, we got to this particular depth of the crisis because of the subsidy removal, and then, of course, experts also say that the fact that Naira was devalued, those are the twin things happening at the same time. So how do we get out of it? What will be the role of the National Assembly in trying to work our way back to normalcy?
Well, our role as legislators is basically through legislation. We will appropriate at the appropriate time or to the appropriate agencies. We try to cooperate with the agencies that, for instance, Central Bank.
Right.
Central Bank comes to the Senate almost every now and then to brief us on what is going on. And they are the one that executes whatever it is that the ruling party has.
And it's for the monetary policy.
Yes, monetary policy. It is within the presidency, within the executive to do that. The only thing we can do is to offer our own advice where necessary. And when they come to us for appropriation, for instance, the insecurity we're talking about, they need money, they need that, they need this. And then we sit down and appropriate the money that they need so that they can do what they say they are doing. Now, their monetary policies, whether fiscal policy or any way you look at it, is within them. The National Assembly, we can debate all we want, but they are the one who executes, they are the one that has the plan, they are the one that like I said, has the plan and has the direction and has the destination they want to go with the plan. And so we can only support them and hopefully, or hoping that the plan that they have will actually take us to this destination. There's a lot of interface and talking back and forth and trying to understand one another, that between the executives and the legislature to see how we can together move this country forward. Because it is not a matter, we cannot trade blame. This is not the time to throw blame. It's the time to sit down and say, look, our people are suffering. How do we sort out the barcode that we seem to have found ourselves? It's something that hopefully, if what the plan to do and what they say is going to come out of it, comes out of it, then everybody will be happy. But the steps that is being taken,
right?
I am afraid that the suffering that Nigerians are going through right now is too much a price to pay for it. Now, this is a country we don't produce, we import, and we are devaluing our naira. I don't see how that is going to help us. Everything is tied to dollar, and dollar keeps going up. And we only import almost everything that we use, we import. And so we are trying to see how do we develop our own national industries, these SMEs, it works a lot. If we can strengthen the small, medium enterprises and let the middleman, give the middleman breathing space to do what he has to do. This question of subsidy there's no country that doesn't subsidize, especially in agriculture. Our farmers need they need access to funding, and they need government intervention by providing the necessary farm implements,
right?
Be it tractors and the rest, so that they can actually produce the food that we need to eat. You can't buy a bag of rice today. Today, you cannot buy a bag of rice. It's over 130. I think it's like 130,000 for what I hear.
That's
for
incredible.
A bag. Something that came from 7,000 or 15,000.
Yeah.
Come on.
Incredible.
How do we spiral to that level? And so we need our farmers. And we also need to have security so that our farmers can go to farm secured. If they don't, then they won't go. If there's no security for them, they're not going to go. And I think that is part of the problems that we're having too. So the bucket of problem is really heavy. And so we need to lighten it.
Yeah. So I think that, yes, of course, we should help the farmers. But I think a very significant portion of why we have rising food prices is what happens between where the produce is available and the market, which is transportation. So I think, and I'll let you comment after I make this point, I think that, not just the federal government, the state government both have to come together to sort out the problem of transportation of the produce from the farm to the market. What do you say?
I agree with you. Before I speak about the role of the state governors, let's also look at the price of fuel, of petroleum, gasoline today.
That's the issue.
That is the main issue.
We need the government to...
So that's what we talk about subsidy. So I don't know which you're going to subsidize. Are you going to encourage the farmers to farm and give us enough food, and then you buy it from them at the rate that they're supposed to sell it and make profit.
Like an offtake there,
And then you
be
can now
responsible.
exactly.
It's an idea.
And then you come back now and sell it to the populace at a reasonable price. America do that. Most countries they do it.
Yeah, I mean, so we talk about state governments a lot, but there's one, at least in this example, I think Lagos. I was reading that they did have this produce markets where they bring out the stuff. So that seems to me, one way, and there must be several ideas of how we can cut that expense from the farm to because the food prices are the most critical. It is said in my language that if you remove hunger from poverty, that
you're not poor.
Exactly.
You're not poor.
So, and that's why I think that issue of the transportation of the produce, because what does it cost to produce stuff? Hey, I mean, we are blessed with the farms,
and the land,
exactly, and the land.
Yes,
but it is that transportation that has to be paid. That we have to be creative about.
Yes, I agree with you. If that's why I said we have removed subsidy from petroleum now, and so price of petroleum has gone up. And so it's going to be translated to these products that they bring from the farms, because they don't put it on their heads. You bring yams from Benue to Edo states to most of the southern states up to Lagos. It's transportation that is going to be responsible in transporting them. Rice from everywhere. Tomatoes, onions from the north, and you are bringing gari, plantain, and all those things from the south to the north as well. Transportation is involved. Now, the role of the state governors, like I always say, we all tend to also blame federal. Everything's not federal. As a matter of fact, it is the states together that forms a nation.
Right.
It is not the federal government that forms a nation by itself.
True.
And so I ask myself, every month they come to Abuja, they collect their money, they have their own internal generated revenues, IGR, they have other sources of revenue. And you ask, with this money, what are you doing for your people? Transportation that we're talking about, I don't see why some states cannot provide buses.
Absolutely, that's my
point. Why are you waiting for the federal government
That's my point.
Or the federal government does that, you're not going to do it. So what are you doing?
You know where the farms are.
Yes.
You know where these produce are coming from.
They can't even construct roads to the farms.
I mean,
so it's a myriad of problems that I think it's not just the federal government. I'm not absolving them, but I'm also saying that the state government, they have a role to play, and they're not playing that role.
Very important point. Let's move on to other issues. I wanted to bring up the issue of the Labour Party. I'm sure you know that in the 2023 elections, Labour Party was basically the beautiful bride.
It still is.
Without a doubt at that time. Now, not that many people thought that, and this is my view, that Labour Party will win the presidential election, but Labour Party and its candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, really shook things, like they would say, they really almost scattered the table, as it were. But the same Labour Party that gave Nigeria so much hope won Lagos State in the presidential election, by the way. It was quite very significant, unprecedented. APC was defeated in Lagos for the presidential election. But the same Labour Party that gave people so much hope now. So we have Jama Abure, doing his stuff. We've seen a lot of very compromising videos. We have Governor, the governor of Abia State, Governor Oti, and Peter Obi trying to see, look, let's sort out things. And then they appointed Nenadi, former minister, and now Abure said, no, that's not true. And then the courts has now said, okay, it's Abure. And then look at what is even happening, with Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Okonkwo came out and said, well, look, this guy is not, look at what is going on. I mean, all kinds of, I don't want to use the word shenanigans, but my point is that Nigerians have been disappointed by what has happened in Labour Party. You are a senator of Labour Party. What do you say to these things?
Well, what is happening to Labour Party is unfortunate, but it's not a situation that we cannot climb out of. In my opinion, we've climbed out of that. What Abure is doing is Abure's affair. It's not going to hold water. Like you said, Governor Oti, His Excellency Peter Obi, and other leaders of the party sat and said, we cannot just sit down and watch the party go into extinction. And so they came up to say, let's settle this matter, and invited everybody, including Abure himself.
Abure did not attend.
Abure chose not to attend. You see, a man of peace. Is it peace that he wants? If he wanted peace, he would have attended. So that everything can be settled, so that every interest can be taken care of. You see, I don't want to say what I don't really have the facts about. For instance, before Labour Party, when we were coming up as a party, people didn't give us a chance. And so they didn't pay any attention to us. And so why they undermined us, we just came up. Now they are paying
5 senators in the
Yes.
National Assembly, in the Senate.
We are 7.
Okay, 7, yeah.
We are 6 now.
Okay.
No, one defected.
Yeah.
Now, they are not paying us attention. You know why? Oh, we can't but pay them attention. What attention are they paying us? It's just to make sure that we don't have the cohesion that we had before.
And when you say they, who are you referring to?
Oh, our competitors, I would say.
Okay.
Yes. And that's just what it is. And so, and there will always be a willing tool. There will always be a willing tool. Because if you love Labour Party and you're actually seeking for peace in Labour Party, you will, especially as a former chairman of the party, peace should be your watchword. I know this question of running to court every minute. You run to court, you run to court, you run.
Do you think
and I'm beginning to wonder, how comfortable does he feel in court? Why does he feel so comfortable in court? Does it have anything to do with court that he feels so comfortable running there every time when he can come home and let's have peace?
So that the matter. Do you think that the APC is using Abure against the cohesion of the party?
It's not impossible. I'm not saying it is, but it's not impossible.
Anyway, because of our time, I want us to talk about your role as the chairman of the Public Petitions, committee. This is a very important committee in the Senate. Now, one of the major indications of democracy is that we have the National Assembly and the state assemblies in the states, where Nigerians can vent, and you are the chairman of the Public Petitions Committee in the Senate. Now, what are the major issues that you are dealing with there? Where do we have instances where Nigerians have expressed, displeasure or complaint and issues that you are dealing with? What is the? Or are Nigerians not aware of what you are doing in public petition? I just wanted to know.
Well, thank you very much. Nigerians are aware of this committee. First of all, the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges of Public Petition, it's like the court for the ordinary man. It's accessible to any Nigerian anywhere.
That should be.
And what we do is to take in complaints that come to us. These complaints could be against agencies, ministries, or departments. It could be against commissions. It could be against individual ministers or what have you.
Yeah.
It could
virtually anything.
Yes. It could also be against individuals who deals with government.
Okay.
If you take a penny, if you always take a penny from the government purse or largesse or anything, then we can reach you. Because, and again, if it's also against injustice in our society.
So do you have any particular or some major complaints that would be of public interest?
Yes, recently we've gotten some complaints. One in particular, a student from the University of Abuja who was in his final year has actually written his exam, was rusticated because of his involvement in student unionism, he cried to the Senate, and we were able to intervene and had the university take him back, and he graduated and he's doing youth service.
Oh, great.
The major thing, or one of the issues that we have, is that some of these MDAs, when we write them to tell them there's a petition against them that they need to answer, they need to come and answer, some ignore it. They completely ignore the summonses or the request for them to come.
Why do you tolerate that?
Well, I won't say we tolerate it, but we give people the ample time to respond. And when it becomes something that we can no longer tolerate, then we have to hit the gavel or hit the hammer. The Constitution gives us the right to summon anyone to appear before it. It also gives us the power to issue warrants of arrest for erring persons, no matter how highly placed, to come before the Senate. And from here on, we have sounded the warning, and we hope they are all on notice. We will use the power that the Constitution has given to us to compel them to answer, because no one is above the law.
Yeah.
If we are talking about democracy, democracy is by the law. It's nothing less than it.
Yeah. So the case of the University of Abuja, is that what you consider the most significant?
No, well, it's
before you, the one that you resolved.
Yeah, we are resolved.
What about the one that you are dealing with currently?
Okay, we have some issues with some corporations like Landmark in Lagos, for instance.
Okay, over the, I think it's in the press, over the
Lagos, Calabar,
Coastal
yes, Coastal Road.
Please, can you tell us about that?
Well, the owners of Landmark had cried to the Senate, and they're saying that that their property was unlawfully destroyed. They did a petition to us, destroyed, and that of course they are seeking for a remedy. And so what do? We write to Minister of Works and say, this is a petition, please, what's your take on this?
So what were they complaining against? The Landmark people?
Landmark, before they even destroyed, before the rule went through it, actually tried to stop them. Yeah. They didn't succeed, and so part of their property had been destroyed. And so they are saying that was unlawful, and that their property, they have been disenfranchised from their property, and Minister of Works have not come to tell us, but what they are saying, for what we hear, is that they have the right of way, and that proper compensation or whatever it is have been taken. We don't know. That is the reason why they must come and tell us.
But have you
we don't want to second guess. Yeah,
the public hearing on this?
Yes, we have, and send out letters for them to appear. They have not appeared. And so I hope this time around they will appear. You know, we have sounded the warning, and we don't really want to push it that far. But if they push us to push it, we'll push it. So
in the petition, you know, did they name? Oh, well, it has to be the minister.
Yes.
So you've invited the minister.
Yes, he's been invited.
Did you get any kind of response from the minister to your summons, or is that what you call it?
Well, not until the issue came to the public space before we began to see responses from them. I'm hoping that.
Have you summoned the minister?
Oh, he's been
summoned. We're talking about the minister for works.
Yes, summoned. He's been summoned.
Former governor.
He's been summoned. Yes.
Okay. Has he responded?
He has not fully responded, but we are waiting. But he has spoken to me on the phone and given excuses why he has not responded. So he has another opportunity.
So you haven't gotten to the point that you can say that he has ignored your the stuff.
Well, because of his phone call, so I wouldn't say he ignored.
So have you scheduled a time for the public hearing, where the minister will have to confront
their letters would have gone out by now.
Okay. Yeah. It's a very important issue, that Nigerians will be interested in following up, why government do have a right, domain rules and all of that. I think, people also have a right to some kind of compensation, and the National Assembly is the venue, in my view, where some of these issues should be heard.
Yes.
So it's important for your committee to also insist that there should be a public
Hearing.
See, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, it's said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. You know, if everybody is doing it openly, I assure you, Senator, that it's very difficult. It's very difficult to
I agree with you.
from malfeasance.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So it will be good to keep us updated on the progress of
and it's not only Ministry of Works. We have the Enugu Distribution Company also involved, and we have this contractor or land developer in Abuja here. I'm trying to remember his name now, who we have also summoned and has not showed up. So we are hoping that he shows up because we are talking about Nigerians who feel that they have been swindled one way or another, or what they bargained for. It's called Salibest land developer.
Okay.
He's also on notice, and we hope that he will answer our summons. Otherwise, we may have to use the power that the Constitution has given us to issue a warrant of arrest.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, as the chairman of the Public Petitions Committee, ethics privileges, you know, it's a very important responsibility. And like I said, it's my view, my personal view, that, you know, that kind of a committee has to be very responsible to the people and bring out the issues so that they can be sorted out in the best interest of the public. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our time is fast spent. We wish that we can continue. Thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
Thank you.
And thank you for the work that you do. We hope that you know, you guys in the Senate and the House can continue to really insist, you know, on how the executive government will do their job and do it in the best interest of all of us Nigerians.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right now. Yeah.